Shalom, shalom, chavrim. I'm Steve Benoon. You're watching Israeli News Live. And of course, guys, I know I came in here kind of unexpectedly. So I know it's going to take a couple of seconds here for people to be able to get the message that we are actually live. So let me just give it a second or two here before we gear up. And we have, of course, made it back home here to the United States. And we are working fervently on trying to get things set back up here. I have to get the camera equipment all set back up again. So it's going to take, actually everything was delayed on the flights coming in. So we ended up having a major delay yesterday. Then again today, actually it looked like the landing gear had messed up on the plane that we were going to fly out on. So that was really a blessing that they caught that. So anyway, so shalom, shalom to everybody. I see so many people saying hi, hello, and stuff like that. So God bless you, each and every one. Karen, Sarah, and John, and Adam, and Brenda, so many of you. So God bless you all. And thank you for joining us here today. But at any rate, wanted to come back and discuss some things that are going on. I've actually, guys, I had recorded about 2 other broadcasts since we've been on the road and tried to load them. But in fact, the main reason why you never got to see them, YouTube, for some reason, would not load those titles that I was trying to upload there. I had plenty of time. We had the layover up in New York. I had a delayed flight again today. And so with everything going on, I figured, okay, try to make some videos while we have a little downtime here. And I put on there, President Trump to withdraw troops from Syria, white helmets prepare for staged chemical attack. You see the monitor back there in the background there. I think it's going to, let me just turn that off right now. So I have to get my backdrop hung up and stuff like that, because we have the blue background and it's kind of portable, so I can take it everywhere I go. But anyway, the thing is that that's one of the issues that I'm looking at right now. Donald Trump, there's evidence saying that he's going to pull out of Al-Tanf. He's been working on a deal with Russia. We know that not Vladimir Putin, he'll be meeting with President Putin will be meeting with President Trump, though, in Helsinki, Finland, which I'm sure all of you are aware of that. But Lavrov had already met with Pompeo. So it looks like that they've agreed to withdraw from Al-Tanf. And there's even leaked information coming out saying that Trump is willing to also withdraw from the northern part of Syria. Well, that's a big concern because if indeed Trump were to do that, that just opens the door for the Turkish government to finish genociding the Kurds. And Russia's not really doing anything about that to try to stop that, which is another big concern. But there's another side to that story, and that is every time President Trump talks about pulling out of Syria, what happens? Well, he ends up in another false flag sarin gas attack, which, by the way, RT just came out today. They posted the news about this already. The OPCW, which is the chemical weapons inspectors there, the nerve agent not found in samples from Syria's Duma in the interim OPCW report that has just come out. So Russia has been exonerated in what their story has been. The reporters, not only has Russia been exonerated, but so many journalists, Vanessa Beeley being one of those, and many others, German reporters that were in very good high standings with the German government, British journalists as well. All the ones that came back and did not follow mainstream narrative, every one of these guys were shot down by their countries for reporting the truth. And so, but now OPCW in their interim report is saying that there is no sarin gas, no chlorine gas, any of the chemical samples that they were claiming were supposed to be there were not there. And of course, no doubt the Western powers are going to say that they just cleaned it up. Yeah, who knows? But anyway, my big concern is the white helmets are getting ready to launch another attack. And Russia has been warning about this already. And I say this because every time Trump starts this big to-do about going to pull out, that's when it happens. Now, we haven't heard this officially. So I would think that the official word would have to come first. But nonetheless, they're trying to make President Trump look really, really like a great guy. Now, I'll be kind of brief tonight, guys, because like I said, with all the delays and we got in late tonight here, a lot of jet lag, as you can imagine, I'm sure. Israel is also laying down, according to Ynet News, they're laying down some ground rules for a new Syria. And it's a bit concerning for me because although I do love my people, I can see that the Israeli government is as if they are planning on broadening the Golan even deeper into Syria. And, I am all for what God gave us as a people to begin with. But I need to remind my own people as well. Right now, we only have 3 tribes that are back home, biblically speaking, and we're trying to live in an area that is pretty much that was given by Moses and Joshua for 12 tribes, excluding the fact of Judea and Samaria or the West Bank there. That area is still, we have a lot of Palestinians living there, but nonetheless, hey, Palestinians have also been known to have a heritage very similar to the Jewish people. So we got to keep in mind, we weren't given all this land going up towards Damascus. What we have now, the Golan Heights now, was part of Manasseh's inheritance, etc. But, I just don't think that it's right for us to infringe on lands that were never given to the Jewish people to begin with, even with Moses. And at the same time, we're not, again, as I've often said, we're not dealing with the giants. Listen, guys, we're also preparing a tour around the United States, and I keep saying this. We are working with our webmaster to get our calendar uploaded onto our website so we can get an itinerary going as soon as we begin to start putting together the dates for the meetings. Hopefully this coming week we'll begin to start setting some of those dates. I know North Carolina is going to be one of those first stops. There is a brother in northeastern Georgia that had mentioned to us he wanted us to speak at his church there, so we may end up being at the same time we do North Carolina, we'll do the other one. But I want to give you a little insight about this, and I'll go a little bit more in Patreon about this information here. I have never shared the intimacy of my past and the work that I did in life. Other than I've said to people I worked in law enforcement, which is true, but there's other parts of my life that I worked at with the government that I've never talked about. And there was a video that was shared with me recently, shared with my wife actually, sent to her. And it really stirred a lot in me. And it made me go back and look at some issues from things that I worked with for about 6 years. And it's a very, very difficult decision on what I'm looking at saying. And I'm being very vague in what I'm saying with you right now. And I apologize if you knew the sensitivity of what is in my mind. You would understand why I'm being very cautious in what I'm saying now. We are going to share this information publicly, though, as we travel around the country. I feel the need to make things public because it's that serious. I will tell you this much. I believe that I have, because of my past work I've done for the U.S. in the past, I'm able to actually conclusively link the government and some of the things that people say are conspiracies, money laundering, drug running, and it being done by some of the highest government officials you can imagine. And I'm going to be sharing a lot of these things for the first time ever. I'm going to be talking with you guys about things that I know personally that is going on with a new world order coming. It's going to shock you how some of the biggest names in Christianity are involved as well. My past experience, and I'll just say it that way as of now, and let me just say this while I'm a little bit cautious in what I'm saying. There are things that have happened in this country that the world knows is unsolved. And we're talking about things that were on national news that has never been brought to light. So I realize that when I come forward on some of these things here, it's going to shock a lot of people. But at the same time, it may actually resolve some of the cases that have become mysteries in this country. But there's a lot of people, a lot of big names. Many of them, of course, are aged because this is part of my life from when I was much younger. I'm about 54 years old now, so we're going back into the early days. You know, I actually became a police officer when I was 19 years old. In the state of Florida, you could become one at 19 years old. So I'm going to share these things, but I'm trying to do this in a very cautious way. And I believe it'll really be a blessing to you guys. And I really appreciate the love you guys have for me. And but I'm asking you also to be praying for my family, because the step that we will take really can put us at a major risk. So we're also looking at other avenues as well. I need to do a little bit of consulting with some people that I worked with in the past as well, to find out which ways that well, maybe I shouldn't say anything else at this point here. I'm sure if anybody that were to have known me that part of my life there might have a better idea where I'm going at, but I don't know if anybody would actually be watching that would know that. That's a very secretive part. But anyway, and I don't want to use certain terminology here either, because it's very risky, even that at this point, mainly because don't need to have someone knocking on my door or anything before I can get this information out to you guys. So, but here's one of the main reasons too. I'm thinking about finally for the first time in wow, gosh, I don't know how many years it's been now. Almost 30 years. In 30 years, first time I've ever spoken about these things or willing to speak about it. Some things, I will say this, some things have come to light recently, though. Like I said, someone had sent us a video that would probably seem to most people unbelievable. And it is about corruption in the U.S. government. It does talk, I mean, let me put it like this. I'll give you a little idea of this to kind of give you an idea where we're going at. You take, for example, the Clintons. And how that people, we see so much about how that there's the allegations that they were involved in drug trafficking drugs. How many people end up mysteriously dying as a result of people trying to expose them, etc. And of course, that list can go on. The Clintons come to mind because so many people know about them and what actually happened there. And I've also heard other statements out that certain branches of the U.S. government is nothing but organizations that were created to be the world's largest drug trafficking and human trafficking and pedophilia, etc., in the world. And the thing is, it's actually true. It is true. Um, so I will be able to share with you guys very deep about these things. Uh, and yes, they do take people out. They do. So uh, it's a little bit of a touchy subject right now. Uh, when we speak publicly, I think I will do the first meeting in Orlando. So if you guys want to keep that in mind, and we would probably be doing the meeting. It would actually be the first week in August here in Orlando. I won't be hem-hawing around there. I'll be coming right out and saying some things to you. And but I figure too, if I say things publicly, it gives me a little bit better protection, because once you say things publicly, not, and when I say publicly, not here on YouTube per se, but once things are out in the open, it really makes it difficult for them to want to make the decision whether or not they would like you around any longer. So this is one reason why we're looking at talking a lot of these things here privately with you, because we're talking about even New World Order, friends. At the early stage of my life, it had nothing to do with New World Order, at least that I could see. It was dealing more with the corruption in the government, people willing to take other people's lives. And we're talking about government officials, and way up the ranks. But when it comes to the latter part, like when I got started off in the ministry and stuff, then I literally dealt with people that you would never believe in a million years would have anything to do with the New World Order, but very much involved in it. This is another reason why, friends, and I think it'll give you guys a better understanding of why I am so concerned about the current situation in our government, even with President Trump and with the associations that he has with the evangelical leaders that he has associations with. You're going to find out just how corrupt it is and what the real agenda is. If they call it whistleblowing, well, that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, do keep us in your prayers there. A lot of work we're going to be doing. I won't say anything else as of now here on Israeli News Live. I will talk a little bit about this, maybe a little bit more on Patreon, not much different than I'm doing here. So it's not like you have to go join Patreon to find out something more, because what I'm going to tell you for real is going to be at these meetings. So if you're able to come, we are going to, we're going to do it for a couple of months, going to different spots around the country, and we'll kind of pre-plan everything, try to give you at least 30-day notice of where we're going to be at next. So just want to kind of give you that understanding there. But this weekend we're going to get fully back into broadcasting. I get everything set up tomorrow here so we can get back on. And we'll do a Shabbat message as well tomorrow afternoon. I don't know what time as of yet, because like I said, we changed our times and stuff. So, but we will be getting around and everything. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of dragging this out. I have a lot on my mind. My wife learned a lot of things too the last few days here that has shocked her as well. But it's something we feel that people need to know. And it'll also let you realize how serious of the things that are happening. Because you guys know me, I always try to be honest with you in everything that we do. Let me just real quick, take a quick look again, anything going on real quick before we sign off of here. I love to use Twitter for searching a lot of times. Of course, we do search in other languages as well, but Twitter is just, always you see a lot of things breaking, at the moment that could be going on, and that's how you can pick up a lot of interesting information that's happening. I know there is a lot of things happening, guys, and I do realize that, and I am working on trying to get emails caught up, which I've got about 3,500 that still have not been answered. So anyway, God bless you. I don't want to keep you guys any longer because all I'm doing is just sitting here rambling at this point here because I don't know what to do with all the thoughts that are in my head. So we love you guys. Missouri, yes. By the way, Gene, I do need to get up to Missouri as well. I've got cousins that live up there in Missouri, and so I hope to be able to make it out that way as well. So we'll probably do East Coast. We'll go part way up to North Carolina and back down. Then we'll do across the south towards Texas. Then we'll go do another time. We'll go up towards Tennessee, Missouri, and then we'll do another time. And on the next one, I think we'll go up towards the New York area. If you're up there on further up north in that area there, and then we will try to go to the West Coast and the Midwest as well. Don't know how far I can get done with everything, but we really want to do. Yeah, Colorado as well, Sister Karen. Yeah, I've been out there. Up there in Colorado, I climbed, what is that called? I want to say it's Corral Peaks up there, like a 13,000 foot climb there. Pretty interesting place there. So, and also I got a sister out in, Utah, I believe. So we get up there looking around Nebraska and those areas there. California, definitely, Sister Lisa, I'm hoping that we get to make it out to California as well. So we'll just see how it all goes. So we'll keep you guys up to date there, and just trust the Lord to bless in that. I'm Steve Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. I feel like I'm talking to friends here tonight. It's a blessing what we do. Don't forget to thumbs up the video. Shalom, shalom.